friends, welcome to Homemaking 101. Today I will be sharing recipes of two of our favorite gluten-free cookies. If you have tried making gluten-free cookies before, you probably know they can turn out dry, grainy and pale. But these cookies have very delicious depth of flavor. So let's start them. The first one on the list are soft and chewy gluten-free snickerdoodles with crisp golden top. These cookies taste so delicious that you will never know they are gluten-free, and they can be easily made vegan also. So let's start with the ingredients first. So here I'm taking oat flour. If you don't have oat flour, then you can easily grind your oats in a blender and you will have your oat flour and ready to use. So next I'm taking unrefined sugar. You can take any sugar which you have on hand. You can also use white sugar. Then I'm taking oil. So here I'm taking olive oil. You can also use vegetable oil. After that I'm using some milk. Now you can also use some non-dairy milk, which will make these cookies vegan. Next thing is vanilla essence. Then I'm using some baking powder and a pinch of salt. So next I have taken a mixture of powdered sugar and cinnamon, which is called cinnamon sugar. Now what I have done is just ground my regular sugar into a blender and made a powdered sugar and then added cinnamon powder in it. Now you can increase the quantity of cinnamon powder according to your taste. If you like strong cinnamon taste, you can increase it to more, and if you don't like it much, you can use this quantity. So I'll start by adding the dry ingredients, that is baking powder and salt, to the oat flour and mix until completely combined. And I will keep these mixed ingredients aside for later use. So in a separate bowl, I will whisk together the sugar and the oil for about a minute or so. And after whisking, I will add the milk and vanilla essence and whisk them also. I love baking these gluten-free snickerdoodles as there are no special ingredients that I need to buy to bake them. I always have them on hand. Now after whisking these wet ingredients for a minute or two, I will add the dry ingredients in the wet ingredients. If you are new here, a warm welcome, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to Homemaking 101 and also press the bell icon so as to get the latest notification. Now I will combine everything with the help of a spatula, and you can see that slowly and slowly it will come to a dough consistency. So at this point of time, I will also preheat my oven to 350 Fahrenheit. So now you can see that my dough is ready and I have lined my baking sheet with parchment paper. Now with the help of a cookie scoop, I will just scoop out the dough in small balls and then roll the balls in the cinnamon sugar. So now if you don't have cookie scoop, no problem. You can just take the help of a measuring spoon and scoop out the dough. That will ensure that all the cookies are of the same size and hence they will take the same amount of time to cook. So I've already told you that I made this cinnamon sugar by using powdered sugar in it. But if you like, you can also use granular sugar in place of powdered sugar. That way cookies will get a little bit of crunch from that sugar, and it's up to you whether you want to use the granular sugar or you want to use powdered sugar. I like powdered sugar in my snickerdoodles, so I'm using this kind of sugar. So my cookies are almost ready to go in the oven, and if you want a little bit thinner or flattened cookie, you can just press the balls with the help of your fingers or use the bottom of the glass, but I am not doing so, so the cookies will be little puffed up. So it's up to you how you want your cookies to be. And the tray is ready to go in the oven, which is preheated to 350 degree Fahrenheit. So after about 11 minutes I took the cookies out, and now I will transfer the cookies to the cooling rack so that they can be cooled completely. This is a non-chocolate cookie recipe, but not only are these cookies delicious and healthy, but the cinnamon and vanilla make the whole kitchen smell so good. Look at the cinnamon specks in the cookie with a crispy top, and these cookies will keep fresh for about 4 to 5 days in vacuum sealed containers. If you are looking for gluten-free chocolate chip cookies that have crispy edges but are soft and chewy from inside, then these cookies are definitely for you. They are very easy to make and use very basic ingredients. Now talking about the ingredients, so let's see what we all need for these cookies. So first of all, I'm using rolled oats. You can also use instant oats in place of rolled oats. And then afterwards, I'm using some brown sugar. So here I'm using dark brown sugar, but you can also use light brown sugar. And after this I will be using a sugar. So this is unrefined sugar, but you can also use white sugar. Whatever sugar you have on hand, you can use that type of sugar. After this I'm using baking soda and a pinch of salt. And after it I'm using chocolate chips. So I'm using a mix of semi-sweet and bittersweet chocolate chips, but you can also use little bit more chocolate chips if you want more chocolate in your cookies, and also you can use whatever kind of chocolate chips. After that I will be using olive oil. You can also use vegetable oil in place of olive oil or some other oil. And after it I'm using milk, and you can always use any non-dairy milk here. So let's start the cookies. So now in a blender jar I'm going to add all the dry ingredients, that is the oats, baking soda, salt, brown sugar and the unrefined sugar, and I'm going to blend them all. Now, how much you want to blend the mixture depends upon your personal preference. If you like just, smooth cookie, then just blend it for some more time. But if you want little chunks of oats in there, then you can grind them for little less time. And I have tried them in both ways and they taste delicious. But today I'm going to grind them little finer and show you that they just look and taste exactly like regular chocolate chip cookies. So after blending, I'm going to take out the mix into the bowl, and then after it I'm going to add the chocolate chips and then mix them well. And after mixing the chocolate chips, I'm going to add the oil in it and then mix so that the oil is combined with all the ingredients. At this time, I will also preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. So after mixing oil, I will add milk tablespoon by tablespoon. I'll start from 2 tablespoons and work my way towards more. If you want to bake something simple that you absolutely know will be a success, then this recipe will come first on the list. As you have already seen that these cookies are so easy to make with no chilling of dough required. So now you can see that my dough has started to come together and I don't need more liquid in this. And this dough is a little bit stickier but not very sticky and not very thin. So as I told you that there is no chilling of dough required, so I'll just start scooping out the cookie dough balls with the help of a cookie scoop onto the parchment lined baking sheet. So if you don't have a cookie scoop, definitely you can take the help of a measuring spoon and just scoop out the desired amount of cookie dough, and that will ensure that all the cookies are of the same size. So afterwards I will just wet my fingers and then just press onto each cookie to flatten it up. And remember, the dough is little bit sticky, so the water helps. And now they are ready to go in the preheated oven for about 6 to 7 minutes. So I have taken out the cookies from the oven after 6 minutes, and I will let them cool on the baking tray itself for about 10 to 15 minutes before touching, and during this time they will firm up. Then I will transfer them to the cooling rack to let them cool completely. You must have noticed that I have left enough space between the cookies so as to let them spread. Last but not least, if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe to Homemaking 101 for more such interesting videos. See you in the next video. Till then, have a nice day.